First off, I wanted to say greetings to all. Happy holidays. I hope everybody's okay. Everybody's in a good state of mind and in a good place, and you're not alone. Because that I know that's the worst of a personal experience. So I hope you all are okay and have somebody there for the holidays. Because I know it hits more. But these are my final thoughts, and I know I haven't posted anything, and I've had people want to know how to play Arcana Nights with horror stuff, and it's new to me myself, especially when you're the first one trying something. It's like you have to figure it out. So I'm still trying to figure it out, but I've been able to do some epic crazy stuff, and I'm not gonna do a profile until after regionals to see how far we go, and especially if we win, it'll be lit. But these are the final two things I need to do before I lock it in for regionals this Saturday in New York City and Queens. So, my thing is whether I want to run a second Utopia, because this gets me into my draw engine, and the Light Warriors go well with it. So it's like it goes with the Arcana Knights, and the Arcana Knights are the focus of my deck. You can say when that fails, you praise to the gods answer, and I just found a way to incorporate them and make it more epic. And I listen to opinions and advice people give me. So if you think people just comment on my videos and I don't listen, I take in everything. I am extremely competitive, but I also want to play what I love and love playing it. So it's like I've been having fun. I've been stopping people, and then in one duel, like I had so many negates because I listened to one person that said, "Hey, why don't you put up negates?" And I'm like, "Why not?" Because if you could get to the full Horus, like I found a way, even within the restrictions of Joker Straight, to set up two negates. And I do apologize ahead of time because I know these cards are expensive, and I hate that good cards to make something good or even better become expensive. And I picked up some of these when they were cheap, and then I saw somebody else's video and I saw somebody comment that they loved their deck ideas. It was a Dark World Horus deck, and they loved their idea, but it's ridiculous how expensive the Horus cards became. So out of curiosity, I went to look, and I'm like, Horus, even the regular one, is $72 or something, and the collector's rare one is like way more. It's like 140 or something. And I'm like, that sucks, because then it like doesn't give people access to playing it. But if other people are topping with it and doing well with it, then it's just gonna stay there, which sucks. I want everybody to be able to play their deck at maximum potential. So this isn't to flex on nobody. If you know me, you already know that by now. This is just to, you want to make a good version. It's like sometimes it sucks, but you have to get these cards, and hopefully they get reprints or they get cheaper. And I found this one, and it turned out to have a ghost rare for like $22, and I'll showcase it in a little bit. But my dilemma is whether I want to take this out or if I want to take this out to put in Bakuska, because I've been playtesting non-stop all this time online, and because I don't have people in my corner where I can playtest ideas in real life, aside from a few maybe local people at locals, but it's still not the same thing when you want to do these ideas with somebody on a personal level. So I'm deciding whether I want to run a second Utopia so I could get into the draw package, or even by himself. He's good with export, because I can, let's say, ditch a card, or if I, that's the idea, is like I summon him. Let's say they have two blue eyes. They summon two blue eyes last turn. I use this. I ditch one card and search this out, and then since this is the only monster I have, normally you would have nothing. Since they summon two or more monsters, you can go into this for free and then use him to bounce one, and then if the other monster was weaker than him, then you can just use XY import to give him. So there's a way with Imperial Bower would bring out King and Queen. King and Queen would go into Cavalier. I'm gonna just say this guy. King and Queen will go into this guy. Then again with the same two blue eyes, you use his effect. It's a lingering effect. It will double your attack during your turn. But it has to be with Bower, because Joker Straight gives you restrictions. So there's an alternate way to do it, but you would go into this guy, and then you would go into this big monster. I can't see his name because I'm looking through the phone. So then you use his effect to bounce one of the blue eyes. Then you go into battle. His effect is lingering, so it would double his attack from 29 to 58. Now that his attack is 58, you can play XYZ import and just absorb the other blue eyes and then attack them directly for 58. So it's like either way is good, and then it's like by itself, like even if you had just him or any one monster and import, as long as they special summon 2 or more monsters, then you could just go to him, absorb 1, bounce the other, especially if it's over 3,000, they can't activate effect. Just bounce 1, absorb 1, and then attack directly. So it's like I've learned to master it in my own way. So I'm either trying to take this out or this. But my problem is like even with Joker straight by itself or Bauer on with no restriction, same thing. Let's say it's 2 blue eyes. You would go into double, which will go into 99. His attack is 6,000 because of him. And then you detach the 2 materials to bring him out. He drops both of the, on summoning, he drops both of the blue eyes to 0. And then since he's 6 and 3, that's 9,000. So see where it's like, and then it works with the restriction. So it's like I have to figure out whether I want to take him out or if I want to take him out to put in this. Because this Baguska has been helping me beat stand-up Centurion, where even Joker straight or whatever the case is, if I go into him, well, if I use the rank up, I can go into something on my turn and then use another one on their turn. But if I don't, and I just have Joker straight, let's say, then I would go into him and wait on their turn, so then I can see what they're playing. And when it comes to stand-up Centurions, when they summon a monster or they're about to, and I know they're playing that deck, I will use him to detach to bring out Baguska. He goes into defense mode, so once they hit the field, they go to defense. Their effects is negated to put them anywhere or special summon. So it's been helping me stop them. And I know it'll suck if I take him out thinking there's nobody gonna really play it, and then I run into like 12 players that play it. Like it will suck. And then if I put him in, and then I run into no players that play it. So I was like, I guess it's better to need it and not have it. Wait, I said that wrong. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So for the final 2 cards is, do I want to run a third so then I could just have more access guaranteed to the gods, or this where this would just bring out all the gods if I have, but if it's just it by itself and one god, like by sending the card, then it's just one. But then if it's this, I can go into this, or either way. So it's like more than likely I'm just going to take him out because I have other OTKs. So I could put this in. This leaves it at 15. And then more likely I'm going to lean towards this, where this will help me if I see it and I don't have the rank, the draw power, their continuous spell that draws. Even off a Joker straight, you can play Joker straight, Special Queen, Search King, normal summon this, and then use his effect to send King to the graveyard since it's in your hand to search the rank up spell. So that way you get all your draws. But you know, it's pretty cool. Like you could go into Bauer, going into him, and then it's like he can't even activate his own effect, but neither can they any monster over 3,000, and he's gonna be 58. So it's like you can just absorb something, or a walking floodgate, and he can't activate his own effect, but neither can they, and he's 58. So it's like, what are you gonna do? Even if they thought to bring out Zeus or something, Zeus can't even activate his effect, and it's like he'll just be a big sitting problem if you went from Cavalier to him, because you're doubling his attack. And I'm gonna read it to make sure. Transfer materials to this card. Yeah, so it keeps his materials. If you do, while this XYZ monster is on the field, neither player can activate effects from monsters over 3,000 or more. So it includes itself. So while he juices him up, if it said other monsters, that would have just been more broken, because then no matter what, you could just bounce stuff while he's like 58. So this is it going into regionals. It's this Saturday, which is only today's Monday. There's only, what, 6 more days away. So I'm going to spend the rest of the day just figure out which one I want to put in. And then I'm probably going to take this out to put this in. And then it's built for going first. But the extra deck is built for going second. So it's like I could switch out the going first cards for the going second cards. And then proceed to go from there. And that's the thing I've learned too. Before, I just played my deck. If I had a card that counters certain other decks, I'll switch it in, switch it out. But I've learned, if you have nothing but going first cards and you went second, then if you can't push through, then you just lost. And if you went first and you had going second cards, like let's say you had 3 Lightning Storms, Change of Heart, and whatever else, it's like, what are you gonna do? You have bricks because you played going first cards going second and going second cards going first. So I've learned by playtesting a lot online, like you have to adjust yourself accordingly for these matches, not only to counteract what the other person's playing, but when going first or second. So this deck, I made it to go for second in my way, where I can control the field, I can set up negates, I can set up Mseti with the spell card that says they can't activate spells. I have Solemn Judgments in here. I have other stuff in here where they can't play. And if I draw the right hand and do the right things, they cannot play point blank. I have like 6 negates and one of them is a floodgate. So it's like, what, 5 negates and a floodgate where you can't play spells. If I get Vantage Root on the field, you can't special summon. So like you can't special summon, play spells, and then I have negates. Oh, there's also the last thing was working with, like I said, playing the cards my way to master it how, for my peoples. And not only that, it's like every other Arcana Knight player. So it's like, when you play the Horus cards, you can either leave them on the field and then respond to your opponent doing something, or you can just make them do nothing. So even if you're under Joker straight and you went into 99 and you set up 1 negate and you can do one other negate on their turn, like you can do that. But then not only that, like if once you have let's say the Horus cards as well and you have all 4 gods, this will give you 2 negates. And instead of having all 4 of your god cards on the field where you're waiting for them to do something, you can go into, and one's expensive, the other one's I want to say it's not expensive, but I know everybody doesn't have access to the same kind of money. I served 8 years in the military, so I have money. I'm living comfortably. I'm not fucking rich, but this is a hobby to me. And, you enjoy your hobby your way. So it's like, if I can afford the cards to make my deck better my way, and I'm the original pilot, and I'm, teaching others how to play, you can also do it this way and so forth, so that other Arcana Knight players can say, hey, I like that, let me try it. But some of these are expensive. But it's a trading card game. I have binders full of cards. Some of my ghost rares, like 2 of my sphere mode sphere mode ghost rare, Winged Dragon Aura ghost rare, I've traded tons of my other cards that were laying there that had value for it. And it's like, I'm not using these cards, they're collecting dust. They have some value. I traded all of them in towards getting the ghost rare or whatever rarity I want, or whatever card I want. That's why it's called a trading card game. You don't need to buy them. You can trade as long as you have extra stuff to trade. And I have tons of extra cards, so it's like I don't buy some of the cards. Most of the time I could just trade for it. But when I have money, if I don't want to deal with the headaches of people trying to take advantage of me and lower my value of my cards so they can get more out of it, and I'm not with it, then it's like I have the money, I'll just spend the money so I could avoid the headaches. But back on topic, you can turn 2 of the gods. If you run 04, I run 04 and I like 04. You can turn 2 of them into Galaxy Eyes, and then you don't have to also worry about Nibiru. And it's also a negate. And then what I've loved, and I have people rolling when I dueled somebody. I dueled 2 different branded players, and I never used this card before, and I only got a ghost rare because I saw it was like $26, or you get like a used one or whatever for like 20, I think 21. But I used it and like you could turn the other two gods into him, and it falls in. The only reason I'm bringing him up is I looked up, like, you have to research. I was like, I want to do something with the gods, so I looked up all level rank 8 light warrior cards. So he came up, and I was like, what's his effects? He negates something on the field, but it's unaffected by the card's effects. So then, like I said, I ran into branded players, two different ones, and it was hilarious. They went negative and then they surrendered, because the way it works is he negates something, and then that card is unaffected by any other card, yours or your opponent's. So they summoned Albaz and then used his effect by discarding a card, and they try to fuse with my cards. So then I activate Divine's effect to negate it, but it's unaffected by the card. So then, they went -1 because they discarded. So then they try to poly the Albus is on the field with a card in hand to bring out an fusion, and the way it works is poly activates, but it doesn't resolve. It sends itself to the graveyard. It sends the other card, which is the correct material, to the graveyard. But because this card made Albaz unaffected by all other card effects, Albaz still stands on the field, and he went negative 2 more cards. So it was like from 6 cards, he ended up 1 on the field and 2 in hand because he wasted 3. The 1 discard for its original effect, which was negated. And then he tried to poly. So poly, he can't bring out the fusion because the Albaz that's on the field has to stay on the field because it's unaffected. So the fusion doesn't resolve to bring out the fusion monster. So he looked at me so angry, and then he called the judge, and I'm like, it's exactly what it does. You're unaffected by your own card effects. You should have poly something else. But seeing him go -3, and I'm like, wow, this card did more than what I thought. In the right matchup, or in certain cases, like, it just shuts it off. And again, the other player made the same mistake, because it's like, he didn't, obviously they didn't talk to each other, which would be cheating. Hey, he's running this, make sure you don't do that. Like, that would fucking suck. But he did it in a different way, where he summoned Albaz, same shit. I negated it, did nothing. And then he tried to play Branded Fusion and fuse a card from deck with the Albaz on the field. And I said, whoa, you can't do that. The Albaz on the field, that's your target. That's what you're doing. You're not taking it back. This is why you learn while you're playing. You don't give nobody a way to keep going. It's like, you're going to learn. You're going to learn today, right now. Albaz, the same thing as the poly player, you won't resolve because you sent the other card to the graveyard, and you're attempting to send the Albaz that's on the field that has his effect negated. It's also, you're not successfully summoning the fusion because the Albaz has to stay on the field because it's unaffected by your card effect. So he went -2, and then he ended up scooping, and it's like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, now you do, but you're not taking the win away from me. I'm like, you went negative, just take the L. So then I stopped playing, and then, I want to keep it secret because I don't want people to learn and know. So that way, at regionals, like, enough people know, then it gives you a disadvantage. You have a higher chance of winning when they don't know nothing about your deck or how things play, because then you can let them make the mistake, learn, but you're going to get your win. And then it's like I said, even if you're under the restrictions of Joker Straight, while bringing out the Horus cards, you can go to these two and then proceed to go from there. So it's like, and it's like cool because I love Ghost Rares, and it was only $26. So I've turned my Horus cards into doing something instead of letting them sit there and then I have to respond to them doing something, where I could just negate and they can't do nothing point blank. So I'm gonna decide these cards. I'm probably gonna go with this to make it 40, do the deck list, and then I'm probably gonna take him out because I like doing more stuff with him, and utilizing him my way, and give him some shine spotlight, where other people are like, oh, he sucks, he's bad, this and that. It's like, because I guess they haven't seen potential in utilizing it to the maximum in their deck. But I see ways where we can maximize it in our Arcana Knights with Bauer under no restriction. Or if you just bring out the god cards and you set up enough board power, and then you just do this and just remove something from there. So it's like I see potential. So, and then this just gives me help with the Centurions going second, so I just get a free win. Depending on the rest of their hand and stuff, like if they don't have droplets or whatever. So it all depends. But I have answers to what's going on. So this is just an update. Hope everybody's okay. I hope nobody's alone, because it sucks to be alone, and I know that's the worst, especially with the holidays around. So much love. If this video helped you at least get some light, even if you're by yourself, and spark an idea to keep you busy and your mind going, because learning does help with depression, suicide, and everything, because you get to focus on something else and take your mind off of that by focusing on something else that makes you excited and something to look forward to and try out, because it's new. New information helps. And then also December 14th should be the second DLC for Pokemon Violet. I'm waiting for Snivy to come back out, so I'm gonna be using him. I'm gonna breed a whole bunch of them so I can give them out for like Christmas Eve and Christmas. So if any kids or adults got a Switch for Christmas and Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, when they do surprise trades, they'll get something nice. Something nice just to make somebody's day. Because, when we're all in our darkest, something nice can help out. We have to be there for each other, right? Much love. Latest. I'm going to do a deck profile after regionals. No matter how good or bad we do, I'm going to do it then. So you can see everything. And how it works, the combos, and especially if I do good, which I have a real good feeling I'm going to do good. We're going to win believing in the harder cards, but we actually have strategy and logic in it. And we're going to play what we love and just fuck up the meta. Let's go, boys.